Good morning, vlog. It is currently 2 times at once.
My computer says that it's 5:49 p.m. right now. However, this wall clock seems to think it is almost 10 to 7.
The great thing about time changes and the resulting winter is that I get to take out all of my scarves.
You all know Corrado loves and has many hats.
But you probably don't know that I actually have an equivalent to that. And that equivalent is scarves and socks. I love socks. I have tons and tons and tons of them, but I can wear those anytime. With scarves, however, it needs to be Canada outside, so I'm very excited to be pulling all of my scarves out of the closet.
And here's my collection. I own a couple pashminas, which are really big scarves. So that's those 3 over here. And then I also have some thinner scarves that you're supposed to just wrap around you a whole bunch of times.
And most of these scarves are actually given to me by Corrado for Christmas. And he also gave me most of my socks because he knows I am a big fan of them.
And he actually tied all of these together and put them in a big box.
So I had to just pull out a really long string of scarves, and it was fantastic.
What's up, vlog? Guess what? I'm back. I was gone again for only 2 days this time, and I did more painting, but I'm back now. And we're gonna have a super interesting day vlogging, all of us, right? Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, come on. Right, Corrado? Yeah, agreed.
What?
I was like, right, Corrado? And you're like, just reading your book. I'm reading a book, Peg. I'm reading a book.
Reading and listening to AWOL Nation.
There you go.
Let's go.
Come on now.
It's the best combination.
Hi, bud. How you doing? Okay, very good. What you doing?
I'm recording some stuff.
Recording some stuff?
Yeah.
You mind if we watch?
Sure.
Alright, cool.
Wake up from the sunlight, 'cause your alarm clock lost track of time. Rush out just like a runaway train. Mom's calling, just checking in. You push it aside and just let it ring. You realize you probably should have said hello.
Hey vlog, so last week I went to a concert with Ben and I bumped into an old grade school friend of mine, which made me think of a story that I wanted to tell you guys. So I was about 8 or 9 when my teachers decided to teach us about democracy in a school setting. They did the old class election thing. The plan was that the 5th graders would pick 2 candidates and then the 4th graders would vote for who the class president was depending on how well their campaign went. Candidate 1 was a more popular girl and her campaign promise was that she was going to get us a tuck shop, which is basically like a candy shop within the school. Not a good thing for elementary kids to have. And candidate number 2 was my friend who was at the concert. His campaign was that he was going to get us a skating rink that winter. But obviously if you give these 2 choices to a group of 8 and 9-year-olds, they're going to choose candy over the skating rink. But I was a big fan of skating, and I also knew that the point of the whole activity was to try to think about things critically. During their campaign, the 2 candidates had to give us their plan of action. Candidate number 1 was going to sell all the computers in the computer lab and use the money to construct a tuck shop. It was obviously ridiculous because we really needed those computers, and I pointed this out to no avail, whereas candidate 2, whose idea was much more reasonable and within a 10-year-old's price range to make, had said that we should all work together and organize a bake sale, and then we'd have enough money to build a rink, which seemed more reasonable to my 8-year-old mind than selling all of our computers. But at this point in time, the tuck shop was still more popular. So I kind of made it my mission to like revert people to candidate 2's side. It got really nasty towards the end. It got to the point where at recess, the whole grade 4 class would crowd around me chanting vote for candidate 1. And it was very stressful for me. So the time finally came to vote. Candidate 1 won, obviously. And only 1 ballot was cast for candidate 2. The person that had voted for candidate 2 was candidate 2, because at the last minute I got too afraid and I voted for candidate 1. But I still felt awful about it because I voted for someone that I didn't believe in and whose goals I didn't want just because other people were pressuring me into voting for that person. So I think you can all see where this story is going. I'm telling you this now because on November 6th, it is the presidential election in the United States. A lot of Americans don't realize this, but your vote will affect more than your country. The presidential election greatly affects Canada because Canada is situated so close. We're right on top of you. About 75% of our trade is made up of US and Canada trade. It also affects things like defense and security and just country relations and such. So I really want to encourage you guys, if you're watching this and you're American and over 18, to go vote. No matter who you vote for, you're exercising a right as well as a responsibility. There are a lot of people in other countries who are fighting for the right to to have a voice in who runs their country. And I think that it's really important to take that responsibility and take the time to figure out who you want to vote for. So I wrote down a list of do's and don'ts for when you're voting for someone. They're mostly from what I learned in grade 4, but let me tell you them. So there are 3 don'ts and 3 do's. Number 1, don't vote for someone other people are telling you to vote for. If that's your parents, if that's a religious leader, if that's the media, if that's TV, if that's people on the internet, don't vote for anybody other than who you want to vote for. In the end, it's not their vote, it's your vote. Number 2, don't vote for someone based on gender, race, sexual orientation. Base it on their position. It is a good thing to keep in mind that you're more voting for the principles that person is standing for than just the person themselves. Number 3 is really important. Don't discriminate against someone based on their political position. Even if you have met someone of that political position who was a real jerk and had stupid reasons for voting for that person, that doesn't mean that every person who votes for that party is a jerk or stupid. Everybody has a different story, and everybody has a unique voice, and everybody has different reasons for why they vote. Okay, so the 3 do's. Number 1, do your research. Do your research on the parties that are involved. Do your research also on the person that is involved, what promises they've made, and if they can keep those promises based on their past, based on the way they have treated others. Take the time to think critically about the person and if they're going to live up to what they say. Number 2, do consider the greater good. Just because an issue doesn't affect you doesn't mean that you shouldn't take into account other people and their unique situations. You know, recognizing that sometimes you have privileges that other people don't have and that they need more help from the government than you do. Number 3, do go vote. Please go vote. It is a responsibility as well as a right, and everybody in the world would really appreciate it. Thank you!
Give me daily vlogs, I want them in my subscription box. I wonder who might drop by, even though sometimes it's Canada outside. So don't go away, we're here every day. It's not ApprenticeEh, it's ApprenticeEh. Hey, 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 hey. Home is where the vlog is.